Hey guys, let's do something cool. Today, I'm going to explain a comedy romance anime called Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. It's the first day of being a second-year student for Izumi Yu, and that morning he makes sure to leave home early. He does not want to keep his girlfriend, Shikimori Mikan, waiting. There is something about Izumi, though. He is very prone to being in minor accidents and does not seem to have any good luck on his side. Once he stepped out of the house that day, he's already tripped on a stone just outside his home, fell to the ground while avoiding bird poop, and kept his girlfriend waiting for a long time. Izumi arrives at their meeting place, huffing and puffing with his hair messy and all over the place. The boy apologizes for his tardiness, but Shikimori does not mind this. She is an adorable and sweet girl, always understanding Izumi's predicaments, even when he kept her waiting. Together, they walk to school. Izumi thinks his girlfriend is cute, but sometimes she has a side to her that isn't cute at all. What could he mean by this? While they walk to school, passing by the sidewalk, a speeding truck approaches in their general direction. Shikimori is quick to her senses and pulls Izumi to safety. She asks him if he's alright. This, and their sudden closeness, makes Izumi blush. Sometimes his girlfriend isn't cute at all. Sometimes, she's incredibly cool. He is captivated by how Shikimori could be so cool despite being a cute and sweet girl. Seeing this side of her gives him a warm and fuzzy feeling. The couple finally arrives at school. They are welcomed by a row of beautiful cherry blossoms in full bloom. Their first activity for the day is to look at which class sections they are in. They both pray and wish that they'll be in the same class this year, too. Shikimori is not very vocal about this, though. She maintains a calm and composed demeanor while Izumi loudly prays that he be in the same class again as his girlfriend. The heavens have answered their prayers as they find out that they're in the same class again this year. Their friends Hachimitsu Yui, Inuzuka Shu, and Nekazaki Kayo are also in the same class. Shikimori goes with Hachimitsu and Nekazaki while Izumi accompanies Inuzuka, parting ways for a little while. As soon as Shikimori thought Izumi and Shu were away, she could no longer hide her joy over being in the same class as her boyfriend. The girl yells her heart out in happiness. As Hachimitsu observes, she is on cloud 9. Izumi sees Shikimori celebrating this little piece of victory and is relieved that he isn't the only one who feels the same. Her face is beet red when she discovers that her boyfriend saw her shouting like that. In class, they are having self-introductions. The homeroom teachers ask Izumi to introduce himself first. He makes quite the impression by mispronouncing his own name, saying Izumi instead of Izumi. The whole class giggles, to Izumi's embarrassment. While a classmate cleans the board during their break, the eraser suddenly flies toward Izumi. Shikimori, who is nearby, successfully prevents the board eraser from hitting Izumi with her quick reflexes. It lands on her head instead. Izumi apologizes for having that kind of stuff always happening to him as he wipes the chalk dust off his girlfriend's hair. Shikimori blushes at this gesture. In her embarrassment, she excuses herself and goes to the restroom. While Shikimori is away, some classmates approach Izumi, asking why he has such a cute girlfriend despite being so dull. They also tell him to be careful as his bad luck can affect Shikimori as well. Shikimori, who just came from the restroom, hears this. She arrives and tells Izumi that she wants to go out. Before leaving, though, she glares at their classmates, getting angry on her boyfriend's behalf. The boys are afraid yet still enamored of her, saying she looks pretty even while angry. What a bunch of envious simps. Meanwhile, Shikimori tells Izumi not to worry about their classmates' words. Still, Izumi does not seem bothered by it at all. After school, Inuzuka invites Izumi to hang out. It turns out Shikimori, Hachimitsu, and Nekazaki are also planning to hang out, so they all decide to hang out together instead. The group decides to go bowling. At the alley, Inuzuka and Nekazaki are both spirited and in competitive mode. The others tell them to pipe down, which they thankfully do. While talking to each other, Izumi gets flustered when he sees Shikimori's nape. His girlfriend put her hair up, so it won't get in the way while they're playing. He's so flustered that he asks Inuzuka to go with him to get their balls. Izumi would fit right in with Victorian men with the way he's swooning at the sight of a girl's nape. Nekazaki and Hachimitsu huddle around their friend once the boys are gone. Shikimori's girlfriends advise her about pretending to suck at bowling so that Izumi will find her cute. Yui explains that for girls, being bad at something means being cute. Inuzuka goes first, downing 7 pins. Nico follows, scoring slightly lower than Shu. Hachimitsu, despite dropping the bowling ball too slow, scores a strike. Before her turn, Shikimori ponders the advice her friends had just said. She is torn between wanting to look cute or cool in front of her boyfriend. It seems like bad luck still carries on for Izumi even in just hanging out with friends. He ends up the one with the lowest score among them all. When it's time for Shikimori to plat, Izumi encourages her to do her best. At this moment, she decides to drop the cute girl act and goes full on cool mode. She manages to get successive perfect strikes that even the other people at the bowling complex are cheering for her. Izumi is amazed at how cool his girlfriend can be. At the same time, he thinks she is just as cute. That windy day, while they're walking home, Shikimori stops a newspaper from hitting Izumi in the face. This makes the boy apologize, to which his girlfriend tells him that he doesn't need to and that she's used to it. Izumi tells her that he feels pathetic because he always needs her protection. This makes Shikimori stop in her tracks. She asks him if what those boys said to him bothers him. Izumi says no, as they're right anyway and that he doesn't do anything for her. Before he can continue, a large sign from a store breaks and falls straight to Izumi. It seems that Shikimori's coolness hasn't died off yet as she manages to kick the sign away from her boyfriend. At this point, we can all agree that she is his protector, his knight in shining armor. She tells him that all he needs to do is stay by her side and that she's going to keep protecting him because she wants to. This makes Izumi's heart flutter. He tells her that he's in love with her. She blushes while reprimanding him for saying that in such a setting. It is the ball sports tournament day, and the boys are playing soccer while the girls are playing volleyball. Izumi knows that he is no good when it comes to sports, often ending up in situations where he might be injured. So he plans to do his best to support Shikimori instead. However, his plans of supporting Shikimori are broken when he finds out that the schedule for the girls' volleyball and boys' soccer games overlap. He holds her hands and tells her that even though they're apart, he'll be cheering her on the entire time. Of course, during the boys' soccer match, Izumi suffers from one misfortune after the other, with his bad luck and clumsiness combined. While attempting to catch the ball, his shoe tie untangles itself, causing him to fall to the ground. Shikimori sees this from a distance and worries about him. In another instance, he tries to kick the ball only for it to be blown away by a strong gust of wind. He loses his balance and falls to the ground again. And last among the string of misfortunes is the ball hitting him in the head. Shikimori's overprotective side could no longer bear to see any of this, so she rushes to him despite the volleyball match about to start in a few minutes. Izumi is taken to the nurse's office. There, Shikimori watches over him, clearly worried about his well-being. He tells her that he's okay. He feels down knowing that he made her worry again. As she runs her fingers through his hair, she notices a big scar on his forehead. Izumi tells her that he's suffered from some pretty bad injuries in the past. She says that he should just stay by her side since she worries about him a lot. As soon as Shikimori is about to go to her volleyball match, Izumi says that he, too, can protect her. His girlfriend teases him by responding that maybe she can just hide under the covers with him and skip the game. This catches Izumi off guard, making his face go red. She laughs and then leaves for her match. At the girls' volleyball game, Shikimori and Nico's team is facing a formidable opponent, the ace of the volleyball club. Their class is currently losing. Izumi and Inuzuka arrive at the perfect time. Izumi musters up his courage and shouts loudly, telling Shikimori to do her best, which fires her up. With Shikimori's efforts, their class successfully wins the match. Izumi congratulates her, holding her hand while telling her that she did a fantastic job. Flustered again, her voice shakes as she replies that she only did well because he was cheering for her. He mentions that she's very athletic, whereas he, on the other hand, had to exit early in the soccer match. She reassures him that he looks so cool when he's trying his best. Being complimented by his girlfriend makes him happy and a little bit shy at that. Because of that volleyball match, Shikimori has acquired several fans. They all ask for pictures and autographs until they see Izumi. The fans ask if he's her boyfriend and they realize that he's also cute. When someone tries to hit on him, Shikimori finally takes action. A few days later, during their break, Shikimori is still surrounded by some of her fans. They are fawning over her, some even inviting her to eat with them. Even Nekazaki has fans of her own. Looks like the volleyball match has had a lot of impact on the two. This is a problem for Izumi, though. He can't even get close to Shikimori since she is constantly surrounded by her fans. While Izumi and Inuzuka are standing by the window, a ball comes flying toward Izumi. Inuzuka protects him by pushing him out of the way. hitting his face instead. Shikimori notices this and gets jealous of Inuzuka for being too close to Izumi. Without her by his side, he's had a few misfortunes and no one but the other boy to protect him. That day after school, Izumi walks by himself, deep in thought. He slips at the staircase and is about to fall when Shikimori comes to his rescue. She becomes upfront with him, saying that he's the only one she wants to go home with. Izumi finds a jealous Shikimori, telling him that he's been with Inuzuka more than her lately. Izumi laughs it off and tells her that he's actually walking to the school entrance to wait for her, and he's been missing her presence. Shikimori is happy and, at the same time, flustered after hearing this. They end up walking home together, as always. One day after school, Inuzuka gives Izumi complimentary tickets good for 2 people. Inuzuka says he can't use them since he has to work, so he gives them to Izumi instead. And just like that, a movie date is set between the young couple. That night, Izumi looks back on all the times he's been out with Shikimori and all the misfortunes that he ended up having her suffer. To prevent those unfortunate incidents from happening again, he takes it upon himself to prepare heavily for their date the next day. The boy ends up with a backpack stuffed with lots and lots of things. He makes sure that they will come prepared the next day. As for Shikimori, she has a hard time picking out what outfit to wear. She is making such a ruckus that her older brother comes into her room to check what she has been doing. He asks if she's going out the next day, and she tells him she's going to see a movie with a friend. Her brother does not question her any further and wishes her good luck. The day of the date arrives, and Izumi is not off to a good start. The strap of the backpack he is supposed to bring snaps, so he ends up leaving it at home. Izumi also sees a lost child and takes her to the police station on the way. And even though he's early this time, Shikimori still arrives earlier than him, already waiting for him at their meeting place. As soon as he sees her, he is too stunned to speak. Today, Shikimori even looks cuter than usual. She asks him why he is staring at her and if she looks strange, but he is quick to reply that she looks really lovely. While boarding the train on the way to the movie theater, Izumi daydreams about how their date at the movies will go. He sees them kissing while watching a romantic movie. Shikimori mistakes his red face for fever, so she gets worried. The boy reassures her that he's only excited to watch a movie with her. The two of them arrive at the cinema, and they are deciding which of the movies being shown they should watch. Izumi wonders what genre of film Shikimori is into and guesses that she probably likes romance movies or perhaps action films. He asks her what movies she wants to see. She replies that anything is fine with her and that she'll watch whatever it is he wants to see. Izumi has noticed that Shikimori always puts him first before her, so this time, he wants to go with something that she likes. He insists that it's her turn to choose whichever movie she prefers. Seeing how strongly he feels about this, she has no choice but to decide which movie they should watch. He also tells her that he wants to know more about her by learning which type of movie she likes. Shikimori chooses the horror film, much to Izumi's surprise. She asks him if he could handle horror movies, and he says he is fine with them. He learns that she still gets scared, but she also cannot help but watch it still. Izumi once again daydreams, this time imagining his girlfriend getting scared at the movie theater and clinging close to him. He thinks this is finally the chance for him to show her how manly he can be. They enter the movie theater, and the movie starts. Izumi's daydreams do not come true, though, for it is he who gets insanely terrified of the movie. Shikimori holds his hand throughout the movie to let him know he's not alone. After the movie, he thanks her, saying that he might have passed out if it isn't for her. At least he got to hold her hand, even if he was scared out of his mind. The two are planning to go and eat some fancy sweets, but bad luck strikes Izumi again, and he finds out that his wallet is gone, even when he tied this to a string attached to his pants. He apologizes to Shikimori and her, being the understanding girlfriend that she is, says that it's all right. While out, they run into Izumi's parents. They invite Shikimori to eat at their house. Shikimori gladly obliges. At the Izumi residence, Shikimori is welcomed wholeheartedly by Izumi's parents. She manages to show off her cool side by preventing a fork from hitting Izumi. The fork flew when his mom dropped the tongs she was holding. Now we know that bad luck is hereditary. His parents see this, and they are amazed. They spoil her and serve her some of their finest dishes. Shikimori tells them that the food is delicious and can be served at a restaurant. His parents assure her that she's welcome to visit their home anytime. Izumi mentions how Shikimori isn't nervous at all, but she shyly replies that how could she be not nervous when she's in her boyfriend's house. Izumi's father overhears this, telling them how proud he was that they flirted in front of him. With Izumi asleep after having a good meal, Shikimori offers to help his mom with the dishes. His mom thanks her for staying by his side. She asks for a favor from Shikimori, for her not to lose her patience with him. Izumi's mom says that his bad luck must have brought Shikimori hardships too. But she replies that she doesn't think of it that way and that being unlucky is what makes him kind. She also adds that his mom needs not to worry since she will protect him. After this short declaration of her feelings for Izumi, his mom is left speechless and even says she wishes Shikimori was her girlfriend. Izumi's dad happens to have heard the whole thing, too, and jokes that his wife is having an affair in front of him. Shikimori is just so cool that even the parents are swayed by her. Although Izumi seems to have a curse of bad luck always following him wherever he goes, he's lucky when it comes to his girlfriend. She's just not a cutie, she's incredibly cool too.